Hey guys, so we're back again for another episode of
As real as it gets.
As Real as It Gets. So over the last couple of days, we were kind of presented with a couple of questions that we thought would have been interesting to present to each other just to see how we would respond to each question. So exactly the responses that you're seeing here, there's no editing, there's nothing of the sort. What you see here is what you get. So let me start off with one of the questions that we received, and which was, do you think that we were prepared to get married in the time or at the time that we did?
Why are you asking me?
Of course I'm asking you.
Well, for me, I believe I was ready. I believe so. I believe it was time to settle. Although it was young, but I believe that I settled based on how I had the experience that I had at the time. So I was ready. I believe so. I guess it had points that we had to get to know each other because it was the first time we was living together. But I believe we were ready. What about you?
Well, emotionally speaking, in terms of how you deal, and when I say how you deal, I'm not speaking about you specifically, but people in general. In terms of how you deal with others and how you react to others and how you manage living in the same space with somebody else. Maybe we weren't fully prepared at the time, but what I do believe is that even though I felt that way, because clearly from what she said, she does not agree. So based on, I felt we weren't emotionally ready at the point in time, but this was already after we were married and whatnot, and we were living together, but that did not mean that we wanted our relationship to end. We just realized that we needed to put work in certain areas.
Well, I asked for a divorce about $1 million.
$1 million at one time. And this is factual. Although in the 9 years that we've been together, not been together, but been married, I have never asked for one, not once. She probably running on to about that. But I think that we grew together. We understood what we needed to do, areas we needed to compensate for each other, be better in terms of understanding each other, and we have grown. This has been a work in progress and still is a work in progress. I believe no matter how long you're with your partner, you continue to learn about them, learn new things, see new things about them, or things about them that you believed or perceived to be the truth to you. You came to realize that maybe it's not necessarily that way. So I would say that we weren't, and this is my opinion. It's not hers. I just don't think we were emotionally ready at the time, but definitely we are in a much, much better place now, clearly, because we've been together for 9 years.
Getting to know each other even better. Getting to understand each other, what we may not like, what we will like, So it takes time.
Time.
And patience, and communication, and love.
Plenty love. All right, so I think we kind of cover that question. Yes. Do you have a question for me?
Yes. The question was asked, were we ready to have children or prepared to have children the time we had children?
What I would think is that we actually planned the time to, when we were ready to have our son. I think what happened when we got married, we said to ourselves, we'll take a couple of years to spend with each other, learn each other, love each other, and just build that level of intimacy before we introduced another human being created by us into this dynamic. So, about 2 years after we were married, we decided to have our son. Everybody knows Malachi, and he has been a blessing to us and our relationship ever since, both of our kids. And well, Anaya,
we actually planned to have them 2 years apart, but we didn't plan Anaya yet. Anaya came. She came as a blessing to us, because I could be wrong, but most relationships have their little rocky times, and I believe Anaya was our anchor. When the boat starts to rock.
A little shaky,
So she came as a blessing. So both of them are blessings.
Always.
But Anaya, what do you think?
Yeah, definitely. So she came at a point in time where we may not have been at our strongest, so she kind of helped glue us together. We weren't at a point in where we were feeling that we wanted a divorce, but we were definitely struggling with a lot of different things that we were trying to work out within each other. So she came at a time where we basically had no choice but to say, listen, we need to work this out. We need to work this out for them, work it out for her, to make sure that we provide a good environment for when she also arrives, and then a current good environment for our son who was already here. So I think that we were both prepared emotionally and mentally to have kids, because we took time to spend with each other, as we said, which is key. It's paramount and it's important, because what tends to happen sometimes when you have kids, you tend to lose this connection, and that connection comes with the kids, but you always have to remember to spend time with the person that you helped to create those kids with. Your connection can't just simply be based on the kids alone. You still need to form that level of intimacy, because there was a time when it was just both of you all. So even though you love your kids, you put a lot into them, you cannot put everything into them. You still have to put into making this work, because once it becomes only about them, then this tends to suffer. Yeah. And that's why you'll hear a lot of people, they will say, they will stay together just for the kids and stuff like that. And for me, while it's a good thing that you would want to do something like that, to try to do something like that, while you're doing that, you still need to work on this. Because
it is damaging. It will eventually, even though you're trying for the children, it will eventually still come to an end.
Because you know why, and why I think that is because eventually your kids reach an age where they are more independent and they are less needy on you. You understand? And you have no choice, and you're now forced upon to rebuild this. And for our last question, this came from me in particular, and someone asked the question, if we're comfortable, if we're okay with either of us having close male friends, male and female friends of the opposite sex, and I would let her start, and then I will chime in afterwards. So you go ahead.
You should have started.
No. This is my question to you. So you answer the question, and I will give my rebuttal after that. Remember, this is not edited. Everything you see here is 100% real. So you go ahead. You answer your question, man. Keep it quick, eh?
Well, I wouldn't have a problem depending on how that female comes across or shows respect. So I have no problem you having a female friend. Once they know he has a wife and they know their boundaries, I have no problem. They want to get a drop somewhere, they want to go somewhere, they want to take a drink, I have no problem. Once when they take that drink, it stays as a drink only. Because anyways, right? Yes, so I have no problem, because I have a lot of male friends. I get along better with males, as a lot of people may know, because of the confusion and the conflict. I'm not interested in that, so I get along better with males. So, and he has accepted that, so I have to be able to do the same.
But I don't think I ever had a problem with it. I don't think I ever had a problem with it, though.
With male? No.
Yeah, I never had a problem with it.
No, I don't know. Maybe because he look little nice and so friendly and stuff, they're just coming at him. But I have no problem. He just wants to know their boundary. That's no problem. And you.
You want my response now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, for me, this has always been my philosophy, and people always tend to tell me, boy, something wrong with you, you're a bit different. But this is me. From my point of view, as a perspective, as a man in a relationship, if you are doing, or you believe that you're doing what you're supposed to do, taking care of your family, providing, being there emotionally and physically, for me, that's my opinion is, if I'm doing that, or if I believe to myself I'm doing that, and I always ask her if I'm lacking anywhere, if any, I always ask her, so if I believe to myself that I'm doing the necessary, I have no time to be insecure. I have no time to have any lack of trust in her, because at the end of the day, people are always going to do what they want to do.
You can't stop
You can't stop that. if she goes out, I just think I could ask her, I just encourage her to go out, spend time with your friends, go out and have fun. And I could be home and I'm like, no, and I'm most comfortable. I'm not studying what she's doing or who she's doing it with, because why? I have no time to manifest those kind of thoughts. Because if you're willing to do something like that with somebody that you're with, then more or less likely then that person isn't for you anyway. So I'm gonna allow you to be yourself. It's not a trap. It's not me giving you enough rope to hang yourself. It's nothing like that. It's me putting the trust and faith in her that I have in her, until she chooses to break that in any way, which will be her choice, not mine. But I'm not gonna hold you on a leash, because at the end of the day, we were all born by ourselves. We spend time with ourselves. My thing, what's important is hanging around people who implore good behavior in you, who does not bring out the bad things that we all have inside of us. We all have things about ourselves we would love to change. Hang around people who encourage you to be better, who would say, hey, what's shopping you're doing there? You need to cut out that, and so forth. You understand? So I most importantly, I trust the people that she chooses to have around her, because I know the type of person that she is. So there is no issues where that is concerned for me whatsoever. It may seem weird to a lot of guys, but that's the truth. You understand? And that's basically my thinking. Allow people, we are both adults. People are going to do what they are always going to do.
You choose to make the right
decisions.
You choose to make the wrong decisions on you. Right? So, if you have to have a female friend, a male friend, you know, you just have to basically trust. If your trust is low based on whatever, right? Because people just get that. You know, it's just for that person now to, actually for you, to forgive and say it's up to him to make the right decision. If he wants this, or if he don't want any problems, he will do the right thing. Because, you know, most of us females, we always have that feeling when if they're doing right or wrong. So, you know, it's just put it out there, have trust, and say a prayer too, you know, pray.
Great answer.
Pray.
Great answer.
You understand?
Pray.
Just pray.
Pray.
You ain't feeling good about something? Pray. You understand? Pray. So, and let them try to be able to be open. So, you know, if you could come and say, you know, Felicia wants a girl drop down the road, you know, and you ain't going. Okay, cool. You know, Stacy say so is the case. She wants a girl drop, she ain't getting something, she need help or something. Okay, you know, it's based on how they are, based on how they move. So it's just to open up your mind, and if you're feeling uncomfortable, say a prayer.
Say so. You can even say something. Say something to your partner, you know, not comfortable.
My spirit not sitting right with this person.
Sitting well.
But don't just make them feel uncomfortable that they cannot interact with female, because eventually you know what they'll do? Interact behind your back. So
yeah,
that's just basically it.
Right, so I think we pretty much covered all the 3 questions. I enjoy the response today. I enjoy the responses today, and you know, guys, we want to thank you again for joining us. You know, you kind of went a little over time, but I think it's interesting. You know, but we appreciate you guys being here again with us. Taking the time out to listen to the things that we have to say, and always remember, this is not a judgment on others. Yes. This is simply how we choose, or how we live, and how we choose to manage our lives. So once again, guys, check out the link in the bio, check out all the Instagrams. You're gonna see it at the base of the screen. She's gonna organize all of that. And again, we want to thank you for joining us. And what we just say? I always forget it, but one thing you're always guaranteed to get here is 100% realness. When the glory comes, it will be